that I hit, but I don't know if I got the stun. I didn't see the animation. Okay, though. All worked out. Oh, I was too early. That missed. That whiffed big time. Okay, that's what my claws for. Did he just take my mana? You son of a... It's the middle of casting body slam, and all my mana just disappeared. Health bar pop up. And release. That seems to be the safest bet. Ooh, almost a little late. Get him, doggy. Oh, way early, way early. I was too eager to jump the gun there. Get a quick twofer in. With that. Down ends pretty quick. Oh shit. Good call. It took a little long. I should have realized they were behind me. Until the health bar pops up. Maybe a second late. Kind of hard to see the one in the corner. Spawn's so close to you. Maybe I should just watch the one in the middle for the health bar. Yo, the one in the on top of me just disappeared. I couldn't even see him for a second. Where's the, oh, part. I just realized the one in the corner, your like spawns way faster than the other one. Comes out like a second ahead. I don't know if it's like that for you. That's what I see. Oh my god! Wait, this guy's alive still? I thought he was dead. Wait, do I have auto attack off? No, it was on. Weird. Okay. I'll make that mistake again. Oh, it changes? I guess that makes sense. The hell, I didn't stun you? Really? No. Oh, damn, that was fast. Where are we at? 10 plus? So probably about 10.7. 8.6 stacked up. Nice. Actually, I think I have that cap, don't I? That's not gonna level anymore. Yeah. Stretch. Ugh. How long have we been live? Almost 9 hours. We got a couple more runs in this at least. Is that our third run? Probably do. See how close that gets us. Hopefully it gets us pretty close. I guess I could try to AFK level at Atos by just like standing in the fire while I do video editing tonight. I didn't do any yesterday. No, I hit the wrong potion. Got fat fingers. Oh, that corner. Out of mana, no shot. What time is this? Naga. I had him stunned, but I had no mana. We're good, we're good. You're up. But not quite. Oh, you know what, actually? I have to get going probably after this round. I might have to continue this tomorrow, Vesper. Give a heads up. Although I might be on this evening, but probably be a few hours. Just realize what time it is. Yeah. Damn, we're making good progress too. We are flying through this. What's the all-time, your all-time record for experience per hour? I know you said you used to like that. Used to be like a goal of your groups. This looks like we're hitting about, what, 10.5 right now? Per hour? Doesn't seem too bad. Obviously be a little faster, I think. Wow, okay. Oh, I guess I know how strong I gotta get. Enough to maybe two-shot these guys. Would go a long way. Oh, are we done already? These don't take that long, right? Maybe we could do one more? I got like 12 minutes. I didn't think we were almost done. We could do one more. What are we at? 9.9? Not bad. And it hasn't leveled, but it is slowly getting experience. Honestly, some of the bludgeons stealing it all, but I'm fine with that. That's just helping me do more damage. It'll start in 2, it takes 10. Yeah. We got that. I don't have a hard stop, but I got some stuff I gotta get done. I was thinking I still had another hour to go because I was looking at how long I've been streaming and not at the time. That's my fault. That said, I think Friday might be a short stream. It depends. For everyone to chat. Just because I do want to try to get like some off stream time in game, so we could do like band rehearsal and stuff for the potential concert coming up and all that. Pith and who was the other one? Cola both volunteered to do the pyrotechnics. I want to make sure we get all that set up for them. I want to make sure everybody's good for a time. Oh, is homie on so I can message him? Is Saturday good for you, Vesper? Here, whisper. Is there any times that are not good for you? I don't see him on. I can message him, or I could send him a mail to ask. Most times she work. Okay. It'll probably be evening time, right? Sorry, I'll have to skip the ad right when the waves start. Perfect timing. Oh, slightly too long on that. Later evening, fine. Okay, okay. After 8 p.m. Okay. So 8 p.m. MST. So let's give everybody time in EST. 8 p.m. MST right now is the same as Pacific, right? So I believe that's that's late. That's 11 Eastern. Let me just double check the time zones. I have that right. Actually, let's fight for do that. PM MST. Oh, it's an hour ahead right now? Oh, so that's only 10 o'clock Eastern. Okay, okay. That's better than 11 o'clock, for sure. I think you're the same time as Vesper, so hopefully 8 p.m. that time is good. Just need to confirm with Strider, Pith, and Cola, and then good to go. Was a waste. That was too, because that was early. Does this do more damage than this now? No, what the hell though? That hits so hard. I'm a little confused. Yep, it's that time. Unexpected result, but happy with it. No clue why it hit that hard. Shit, maybe I was just due for a crit. It happened to be a good one. Ran out of mana again. Thank you. Drinking a potion. Ooh, that was a good hit. Best hit I've seen in a minute. Dang, I didn't see the health bars popped up. I just let go hoping it was right, and I'm glad it worked out. I was about to mistime that. No, I didn't get the stun. Good save, good save. Good teamwork. Slightly late, but it's okay. At least it hit this time. Hit tab and then start spamming 5 so I could use my whatchamacallit? What was it? He's already dead. A body slam. Probably good. Probably good. Probably good. Keep things going fast. Ooh, we're 10.7 right now. I love that. Or I'm sorry, 10.2. I looked at the pool, not the. Not the last wave? That's the last wave. Yeah, it's 4. Okay. Oh, yeah. I'm just saying the per hour. We hit 10.5 again. Okay, cool. All right, well, at least I have a time now to tell everyone. I just got to get in touch. Maybe I'll just mail people so they have the message and they can get back to me. All right, I got to recall before I log out, I suppose. Whoops. Weapon away. I'm taking us back. Oh, you're also going back. You stream a long time? Yeah, today for sure. I started extra early. I wasn't planning on going this long today. I was feeling good, just having fun. Started extra early because I got up crazy early. Imported a lot of songs today. There's new songs on the vendor. So if you go to Huxley's Music Box, you'll find some new songs on here today. Although there's some songs that I brought into the game. They're in my inventory, but they're not on the vendor yet. Oh, and he said you want to see my pool. Yeah, I'm at 11 right now, which is plenty to get me going. I can't remember which ones I uploaded today, but there's a few new ones on here. That was a good day, good stream. All right. Oh, I also got one. I also rearranged and did new furniture and like. So next time we're like, I guess I gotta get the prologue still. I guess I can go buy that, so that we can sit down and like have story time here. You know. I might actually. when we do story time, I might just like, is there a way to hold a book? Wait, hold on. What if I do like, is there no like read animation? Like read a book, go through a book. Oh yeah, read book. Perfect. So I can do something like this, right? And then we can read Blade of the Avatar and stream together. I feel like this is a cozy little setup, right? That said, I will leave stream with this today before I go. I'm going to pause the music. And then I will read... God, this is rough. Forgive me for this. I haven't proofread this yet, so I'm going to want to reword stuff. I did put it through a grammar check the other day, and by the way, the automated grammar checks and stuff, we agree that I used to use hyphens when I wrote because I liked them, but now that I know it's a thing that AI uses, I kind of I've gone back to using commas more. Because I used to use hyphens because it's like a way to add emphasis to like your statement at the end of a sentence. It's a way to interrupt your thought in a way and like kind of like not interrupt completely, but like interrupt the current thing to say the thing you need to say. But then like when you see AI use it, they use it like completely interchangeable with commas. And this is also too long. I kind of want to dwindle this down a little bit. This was originally like 4,000 words, and I got it down to like, what is it, 2,800 now? 2,400? I think I can get it down more. I think I can get another 400 words out. Because like some ideas are in here, like it feels like a little almost redundant, like something said multiple times almost, but in different ways. Yeah, it's a 2,300 now. I think I can get another 300 or 400 words out of this. All right, so I'll read this. You guys have heard me basically say this stuff on stream, but this is like what I've been kicking around in my head. So this is going to be for an upcoming video I'm going to make to put up on YouTube. It goes, I almost missed what I consider the best MMO ever made because of narratives that often have little to do with actual in-game experience. That kind of framing is likely why many players who had heard of it chose to skip it entirely. I made this video so that you don't make the same mistake. Shroud of the Avatar is frequently folded into a broader Kickstarter-era skepticism, where it gets grouped alongside controversial or even uneven crowd-funded games like Mighty Number 9, Project Phoenix, Wasteland 2, Yooka-Laylee, and even Star Citizen. These comparisons tend to share themes: big promises, long development cycles, shifting scopes, evolving monetization models, rather than focus on any specific qualities of any given game. I think I can actually just cut that part out there. Let's just put a period there. Let's remove that sentence. That's a spot right there where we can remove something. Cut out the end of that sentence. The guilt by association effect means Shroud of the Avatar is often discussed less for its actual gameplay systems and more as a cautionary example of crowdfunding risk in games. Again, I think I can remove a little bit here. As a result, its reputation among gamers, is what I want to say here. Gamers is shaped more by industry-wide anxieties about Kickstarter projects rather than direct player experience. At the same time, reporting and commentary around the game also highlight development side issues, restructuring with the studio, leadership and corporate transitions, funding pressures that led to monetization adjustments, and concerns about communication and fulfillment of early crowdfunding promises. Critics point to delays, altered stretch goals, and incomplete original features as evidence of ambition exceeding execution. Taken together, the game's public perception is heavily influenced both by its own development challenges and its association with the broader era of controversial crowdfunded games. For those that don't already know, let me take you through the history and the state of the Ultima franchise's latest installment, Shroud of the Avatar. In the history of gaming, there are a few names that don't just represent franchises, they represent turning points. One of those names is Ultima. When players talk today about the origins of deep role-playing games, they're often unknowingly echoing the ideas first shaped by Richard Garriott and the Ultima series. Beginning in 1981. I believe actually technically his first game was like 77 or something, but I think the first Ultima got published in 81. I think it was released before then, but anyway, that's a whole other thing. At the time, RPGs were still finding their identity, but Ultima just didn't ask players to win, it asked them to live differently. By the time Ultima 4 arrived, something fundamental had changed. Instead of simple good versus evil alignment systems, players were asked to embody virtues like honesty, courage, compassion. It wasn't about choosing a side. I don't know why I have a typo there. Let me fix that. I do know why, because I make many typos. It was about choosing who you were and becoming... who you were and becoming... choosing who you were through your actions. And then Ultima 7, a game that still feels ahead of its time, a world where NPCs had routines, objects could be physically interacted with, and systems didn't just support the story, they were the story. It wasn't scripted immersion, it was simulated life. Looking back at as modern gamers, it's easy to see how philosophy quietly became the DNA. This philosophy became the DNA of everything that followed in open world RPGs, immersive sims, and eventually entire online worlds. When Ultima Online launched in 1997, it didn't just expand the series, it changed what players believed a game could be. Ultima Online introduced a world that didn't pause for you, a world where players weren't the background decoration, they were the system, they were the story. There were no rigid classes locking you into your identity. You became what you practiced. A blacksmith could become just as legendary as a warrior. A merchant could build as much influence as a fighter. The economy wasn't a menu. It was a living, breathing network of players trading, competing, and surviving together. And yes, there was danger, real danger. In early Ultima Online, death had consequences. You could lose your gear. You could lose progress. You could lose control of a situation instantly. That may sound harsh, but to many players, it created something rare, meaningful stakes. Wins mattered because losses mattered too. More importantly, the world wasn't designed around you. It was shared with you. That distinction shaped everything. Of course, no living system survives untouched by its own success. Early Ultima Online ran into one of the most important unscripted problems in MMO history. Its ecology and resource systems were being consumed faster than the world could recover. At launch, the world was designed as a single shared ecosystem. Resources like ore, animals, and even monsters were not infinite. They respawned based on internal rules meant to simulate a living world. In practice, players rapidly optimized around this system. Mining routes were stripped clean, forests were heavily harvested, and high-value hunting zones were permanently camped by efficient groups or large guilds. This created the first two major problems. First, the resource collapse and inequality. New players often entered a world where key resources near towns were already depleted or monopolized. Veteran groups effectively controlled large parts of the economy's supply chain, which reinforced wealth gaps and limited access to progression materials. The second, the ecological imbalance in PvE content, player population spawn systems also were solved by the players. Efficient farming routes led to predictable depletion patterns, which reduced exploration and made parts of the world feel exhausted rather than alive. To address population pressure and competition for resources, developers introduced shards, or as we know them today, separate server instances of the same world. Each shard duplicated the world, but isolated the player population, effectively multiplying the available resources and reducing direct competition. This solved the gameplay stresses, allowing for more accessible resources per player, a less monopolized of hunting grounds, reduced overcrowding in key zones, and more stable PvE experience overall. However, it came with a philosophical trade-off. The original vision of a single unified world where everyone shared the ecology, economy, and history was fractured. Shards improved playability, but weakened the sense of a singular world. In hindsight, this moment became a defining MMO lesson. Fully persistent economies and ecologies will require either strict control systems or acceptance that player optimization will always outpace your simulation design. And there are stories that no designer could have written. One of the most famous early moments in Ultima history, and the accidental death of its creator, Richard Garriott, during a live in-game event, an incident that would become a cautionary tale and a defining myth of early MMOs. Do I want to say it like that? Early MMOs? Early MMO? I guess that's fine. I don't know if I want to say like massively multiplayer online game, but I should probably say that at some point just to define what MMO is, but that's crazy to say it every time. Maybe I'll do it like the first time I mention it. Is that the first time I mention it? No, it's at the very beginning. Okay. So that's something to keep in mind. Where was I? At the time, actually, I'm going to call him Lord British. Here. Because that's who he was in game. Actually, does it say his name down below? Yeah, it does. It does. Gariot. There we go. That's perfect. Lord British was role-playing. How about, let's cut all this out. I can make this shorter. Lord British was appearing publicly at Lord Blackthorn's castle. The event was meant as a developer appearance to address growing concerns from players about PvP griefing, safety, balance in open world conflict systems. Early Ultima Online had unrestricted PvP in many areas, and players were already debating whether the system was too chaotic for new users. During the appearance, and again, I'm going to say Lord British here. British was surrounded by players in a highly populated server event. Despite being a protected developer character, he was not invulnerable due to a script. Actually, no, that's due to. He was not invulnerable. What was the item called? I gotta remember. He was not invulnerable because he forgot his. I'm just gonna say God mode. Flag was not properly set. Was not properly applied in that I can cut that short. Just was not properly set. A player infamously using the name Reigns in later retellings cast a fire-based spell that bypassed. No, that's not what we're. Fire-based spell. Nearly instantly. More brains. How to do the excessive. Yeah, okay, so let me finish that. A player infamously. No, I'm just going to remove that too. We don't need to say that. A player. Just remove this. Player named Reigns. There we go. That's all we need. Get rid of that part too. Player named Reigns. Perfect. Cast fireball spell, and Lord British was killed nearly instantly in front of a crowd due to the excessive lag. The reaction was immediate and electric. Players were stunned that even the game's creator, embodying an immortal king, could die in the world that he designed. The moment spread quickly through early internet forums and became one of the first viral MMO stories. Gariot's response, famously in character and humorous rather than treating it as a failure, he leaned into the emergent chaos of the world, reinforcing the idea that Ultima Online was a living world where even gods could fall. Ironically, the incident highlighted exactly what players were debating, the unpredictability and danger of unrestricted PvP. Instead of resolving concerns about safety, it became a symbol of Ultima Online's core identity, an unpredictable sandbox where even developers are not above the rules of the world. Fast forward many years, and the same creative lineage attempted to return. In 2013, Shroud of the Avatar Forsaken Virtues launched on Kickstarter with enormous expectations. For many players, especially veterans of Ultima Online, this wasn't just another RPG. It felt like a chance to revisit a philosophy that modern gaming had drifted away from. The pitch was powerful, a hybrid experience combining single-player storytelling and multiplayer systems, morale choice-driven gameplay, and a return to classic RPG values. Community response reflected that hope. Players didn't just back the project financially, they backed it emotionally. There was a sense of shared rebuilding, like the revival of a language long thought fading from games. Early development reflected that energy. Players participated in discussions, testing, feedback loops. It felt like less like consuming a product and more like contributing to a world in progress. And in many ways, that spirit still exists. It's important to be honest about the journey that followed. Like many ambitious crowdfunding projects, Shroud of the Avatar faced challenges: scope expansion, shifting systems, and evolving monetization approaches, and development continued over time. Some expectations didn't align perfectly with the final execution. Certain narrative ambitions were reduced, and systems evolved towards sustainability over the original scope. But framing that as a simple failure misses something important. This is still a living project, shaped continuously over time, rather than locked into a finished snapshot. And that matters, because like unlike many games that launch and vanish into legacy status, Shroud of the Avatar is not dead. It's still actively maintained and supported by its ongoing development team under Catnip Games, with updates continuing and persistent community that remains engaged. The player base may be smaller than mainstream MMOs, but it's deeply invested. And perhaps more importantly, the community itself has become a part of the content. One of the most interesting things about Shroud of the Avatar today is how much of its life is sustained by players themselves. Towns are populated by longtime residents, feel lived in, and each has its own charm. Events are organized by the community, roleplay, storytelling, and crafting economies. Much of it is not just supported by systems, but expanded by player creativity. There's a kind of quiet authenticity in that. You can feel it in how players talk about the game, not as consumers, but as caretakers. Even criticism often comes from a place of care. When systems feel incomplete, players don't just leave, they build around them. They modify the experience through cooperation, imagination, and persistence. That kind of relationship between players and a world is rare in modern gaming, and it's worth acknowledging. Shroud of the Avatar both reflects the ambition and difficulty of reviving an older RPG philosophies in a modern context. It tries to balance narrative depth, multiplayer systems, and freedom in a market that often rewards specialization instead of hybrid design. Constructively, where it struggles is not intent, but scale. Competing design philosophies require trade-offs: authored storytelling versus systematic freedom, monetization stability versus strict completion, and the long-term sustainability versus finite design scope. These aren't failures as much as they are structural tensions every evolving MMO must face. And yet, despite all of that, something persists in its community that is hard to quantify. A sense of continuity, a shared history of players still showing up not because they're obligated to, but because they care. That matters in a way metrics often fail to capture. You know what I kind of want to highlight there, that it's not that they care. The game isn't built around player retention. It's built around, being a good game. They're not optimizing every little thing based on how much time it keeps you in game or, whatever. They're not trying to steal your days from you. You choose to invest that time. You don't have to. But I don't know how to articulate that well. So this is where this statement stands for now. I might work on that more. This is me sidebarring, by the way. Okay, so let's continue. Okay, so when we step back and look at the full arc from Ultima to Ultima Online to Shroud of the Avatar, what we're really seeing is not just a history of games. We're seeing a history of ideas. Worlds can be simulated, not scripted. The players can generate meaning, not consume it. The communities can shape systems just as much as developers. And persistent worlds are built through people, not just the servers. And that brings us to where we are now. Modern MMORPGs often lead towards structure, clarity, endgame progression loops that become a grind. That design absolutely has its place. It creates accessibility, scalability, and consistency. You log in every day, you know exactly what you're going to get. You have your daily tasks. But in sandbox-inspired worlds, it still offers something different, something less predictable, more social, often more personal. Shroud of the Avatar sits in that space. Imperfect, yes. Evolving, absolutely. But also shaped by decades of experimentation in what virtual worlds can be. And maybe that's the point. Not every MMO needs to be perfect to be meaningful. Some are valuable because they are living worlds, ongoing conversations between developers and players about what a world could be. So while Shroud of the Avatar may not align perfectly with every expectation set during its early days, it remains a functioning, active world supported by a dedicated community and continued development. And in that sense, it's very much alive. In the landscape full of highly polished, heavily optimized online games, Shroud of the Avatar stands as something different, a living experiment shaped as much by its players as its creators. It stands out because it follows a rare MMO philosophy focused on player-driven worlds rather than structured rail-like progression. Shroud of the Avatar emphasizes open-ended sandbox systems, player housing, a real economy, emergent social interaction, and meaningful risk through its PvP and morality systems. Players shape the world much more than the developers guide them. It's focused on roleplay economy and community building rather than raids or gear treadmills. What makes the Ultima franchise unique is its emphasis on simulation, permanence, social consequence, worlds that feel inhabited rather than scripted. For fans, Shroud scratches a niche itch for slower, immersive, player-authored worlds that most modern MMOs no longer try to replicate. It may not be perfect, but it carries forward a lineage of ambition that began with Ultima. Worlds built not just to be played, but to be inhabited. And for that reason, Shroud of the Avatar may be the one most interesting MMO still active today. It's absolutely still alive, still evolving, and still being shaped by the people who care about it. And maybe, just maybe, it deserves more players willing to step in, explore, and decide for themselves what kind of world it becomes next. And then I wanted to give a review at this point. I don't know. I have a note here to write my review of the actual gameplay, like the main story quest line and everything that I completed through chapter 1. And I haven't written that part yet because I'm still editing the video, and I think I want to shape my review around the video edit. So I haven't done that part yet. But I'm open to notes. Like, I feel like there's a bunch at the end there. I say it a bunch of times. I need to find a way to be more concise, because I say it like 3 different times that it's a world built by the players just as much as it is by the developers. I think I can be more concise with my words there. To be fair, I rewrote the beginning a bunch of times. I haven't even rewritten the end yet. So I do need to go back and do that. Like I said, this could probably be 300 words shorter. But yeah, any thoughts before we call it? Oh, ads. It's save. Yep. No thoughts? Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and raid out. Let's see who's live. Sorry if I put you all to sleep. What's he watching? He's doing a marathon? What is this marathon? 100 hours? How long has he been live? I think this guy's doing a 100-hour stream marathon. I might raid him. Oh, he just started. Hell yeah, we're going to raid him out. This guy used to raid me every night, chat. So, like, he's a long-time homie. I don't know what his stream marathon is, but I feel like I owe him a raid. It's been a long time. Anyway, I love y'all. Pleasant nightmares. Hope you enjoyed my I guess the start of my Shroud video that I'm gonna make for YouTube. Love y'all. Pleasant nightmares.